Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. And as we know that tutorials of JS, that is JavaScript, is going on. So today we are going to see loops, the basic loops. In the before videos, what we have done is first the basic JavaScript, then second injecting of JavaScript in index.html, and the third we have done something with variable, which is var const and let told the difference of them and that identifiers, and of course explained it properly. So please view the before videos if you haven't came through it. Okay, so let's talk about basic loops. Okay, in JavaScript, first first and foremost thing, you should have basic information, that is basic knowledge of what kind of loops are present in JavaScript. Okay, so there is something called for loop, okay, while loop, and do while loop. These are the basic loops and these are present all over in most of the languages, right? Okay, so what more is there in JavaScript? See, there is a basic loop, the basic syntax of for loop, of while loop, and do while loop, right? But there is one more way of for in loop, means there are more loops present in JavaScript: for in loop and for off loop. Okay, what are these things? I will tell you afterwards. Okay, let me just remove. I did mistake. Yeah, and yeah, now it's better. Okay, so there are for loop, while loop, do while loop. These are basics. Then more for in loop and for off loop, that will be coming with JavaScript itself, and you will get this type of loops in either JavaScript or Python as of my knowledge, and in some of the languages maybe, but not in C++, Java. Okay, as much as I have seen, means it's not pre-built, but for in for off loop is pre-built in JavaScript. Okay, so today we are going to see for loop basic syntax, while loop basic syntax, and do while loop. Okay, why? Because this two has separate what to say. This two have separate domains to play around, and while these loops can be, or you if you don't want, then these loops can be implemented in most of the cases, but this kind of loops are oriented, means a certain data, either data structure oriented or object oriented or something like that. Now what are these things? I will tell you later on, okay, in the later videos. But let's see the basic syntax of for loop in JS, right? So for this, what you have to do is you have to open this for, write for, and then open this parenthesis. Okay, there you have to write let I, okay, means initialize a variable and declare its value, then give a semicolon, and again give it a condition, right? Give it a condition. What I is, I am giving the I am not giving, means much tougher one. Okay, I is less than 10. Okay, and then I plus plus. Okay, then open your bracket and then console.log I. Okay, so what is this thing? First, let's start with the basic syntax of for loop. Okay, now what is the basic syntax? We have to we have to write for, then we have to get one expression, okay, then condition, and then either updation, that, and then updation. This can be increment or decrement. Updation can be increment or decrement. Then bracket open, and then certain piece of code. Okay, now j- why we need loops, right? We need loops to perform a certain kind of behavior or certain code again and again and again until or unless we require it or we uh, condition it to loop through it. Okay, okay. So first thing first of all, if you are getting confused, like I said earlier that two forward slashes are comment, then why these are also showing as comments? Okay, so these are the syntax of multi-line comments. As you can see, star slash at the last and at first slash star gives me opportunity or gives me power to write multi-line comments. Okay, so now this whole code will also get ignored by the interpreter. Okay, so coming back to loops, yeah. For loop, write for and then open the bracket, then we give then we have three things, different things to be given. What? First expression, second condition, and third is updation. Okay, now what is expression? Expression should be your declaration of the variable. Okay, what is condition? Condition should be till when the loop will execute, means till when the loop will loop around the code. What code? This piece of code. Okay, so here I have given the expression is let I is equals to 0, means my variable I is equals to 0, then I will loop through it till I is less than equals to 10, means till the I is less than or equals to 10. Okay, and the updation part, right? Third expression that we give is updation part. This can be either I plus plus or I minus minus. What does this mean? If I plus plus, then every time after this code execution, right, the code inside the curly braces, okay, once this executes, this updation part will run. What will happen is, let me give you an example. Okay, suppose I is equals to 0, and now the code inside for loop will run. Okay, and this will print console.log. Okay, and the that will this code will execute. Okay, now what will happen is, this will let me, okay, this will let me as soon as the code finishes inside the curly braces, okay, this will go to the updation. Okay, what is updation here? Increment. Okay, an increment of what? I equals to I plus 1, right? See, this this I plus plus itself means that I is equals to I plus 1, means every time this inside code finishes, okay, I is going to become its succeed by plus 1. Okay, okay, by itself. Then as soon as this happen, the interpreter will check what is the condition, right? And the condition is I is less than 10. Okay, condition is I is less than 10. So right now I is, after one updation, it is 1. Okay, then condition strikes, and yes, I is less than 1 because I is 1, and then again this code will execute, then again updation will happen. Okay, now I is 2, then again this code will then again it will check is I is less than 10, yes, because I is 2, then again this code will execute, and again updation will happen. Okay, so this things goes and goes and goes on. So let's check it with the with running this. Okay, so let me get to the folder. Okay, yeah, and now node loops.js. Okay, so you can see that this has printed me from 0 to 10. Okay, why? Because I have just consoled the I. Okay, nothing else. So this has printed me 0 to 10, and as soon as the I reaches 11, means suppose that it is run 10 times or 11 times, whatever the count, maybe the count is, and now I is equals to 11. Okay, and now it will check that I is less than 10. No, I is 11, so the code will break, the for loop will break, and this execution of for loop will end there as soon as the this condition goes false. Okay, now let's move into the while loop part. Okay, so for that what we are going to do is, here we will write console dot log uh, for loop, so that while consoling things you won't get confused. Okay, and then now I will console log while loop. Okay, now I will show you the same example with different syntax. Why? So that you won't get confused. Okay, that's it, nothing else. So what we are going to do is, we are going to have a variable, and that is let j. We are giving this variable name is j, and what we are going to do is, we are assigning it to 0, is it to 0. I mean, we are assigning 0 number to j. Okay, now we will open while. Okay, and we will give a condition. Okay, so let me give you the basic syntax of while loop. Okay, what is the basic syntax of while loop? Syntax of while loop, right? Okay, yeah. So basic syntax is, first, uh, initialization of variable, right? Then while, then condition. Okay, then curly braces, then code, and yeah, it's over, done. Okay, so this is the basic syntax. Now what is given? Initialization of variable. Okay, this I have done. Let j is equals to 0, given a variable j, and in it given in with that now we are going to write the condition, j is less than equals to 10. Okay, this is my condition. As soon as j will hit 11, code loop will break and code is done. Okay, so console log j, nothing else, right? So as you can see, this is the basic syntax of writing while loop, and here given example. But before running it, why not compare it with the for loop, right? How we write for loop? In for loop we write for, and then open the braces, brackets, and then we give your initialization, then condition, and then your updation. Okay, good. And the piece of code inside the curly braces, right? But here we haven't given any kind of updation right now, but we have to give. Where we will give? Inside while loop. Now tell me, why inside while loop? Because every time there should be because every time this code runs, we need to update this variable. Otherwise this will go into the infinity loops, because j will not increment, and this loop will run and run and run and run again. But j is not incrementing to 1 2 3 4, right? And j is only 0, so this will tends to infinity loop. Okay, so what we are going to do is, inside the curly braces, we are going to give the updation part also. So here, at last, updation. Okay, now this can be increment or decrement. Okay, see, basically this kind of the way I am explaining is being explained into other languages, not in JavaScript, because JavaScript is not seen as the language like C, C++, and Java. Okay, but here I am explaining each and everything because I feel that uh, things should be done like this. Okay, maybe I'm not a great explainer, but still I am trying to explain these things with the basic things, which you will not usually see, I believe so, in some of the in many tutorials, most tutorials in Java, in YT, okay, in YouTube. So what we have done is, what is the basic syntax of uh, what to say, while loop. First initialization of variable, then while, then condition inside the brackets, and then the curly braces, okay, then code, and then updation, right? Okay, so I hope you can see everything is present here, and I have said that why j plus plus in subdivision part is inside the curly braces. Okay, so now we will run this file. Okay, so let me give me a minute. Okay, yeah, so if you will see, there is first for loop and its part is printed, and then while loop and its part is printed. Okay, there is a problem that you might say that I haven't got it yet. Okay, so what I am going to do is I am just going to reverse the order of printing, okay, with the values, and now loops.js. But there is a problem, right? Okay, okay, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think I have done something wrong. Should be greater than, should be less than equals to 10. No, should be greater than equals to 0. Yeah. So what I have done, I have initialized j is equals to 10. J is, should be less than greater than equals to 0. Okay. So each and every time j will be greater than equals to 0, then only this condition will be true. And always j minus minus in the updation means decrement. This time we are decrementing the updation. Okay, because right now I want the reverse way of going. Okay, and we are simply in the code part, we are simply consoling the j. Okay, so let's console it. Okay, so you can see for loop 0 to 10. Okay, then while loop 10 to 0. That's it, simple. Now let's move further into do while, and here is something interesting. Okay, so let's see, console log do while loop, right? Now do while has something different, okay, than this loops. Always remember, for loop and while loop have a different, see, do while and loop, for loop have everyone has different syntaxes. But there is a major difference, a major difference. I'm not saying minor. I'm not, or a difference. I'm saying a major difference between do while loop and other loops. What are that? What is that? So let's dig into the code part of while loop. Okay, syntax part. Do while loop syntax. Okay, what is the basic syntax? Same, variable initialization. Okay, now what I am going to do is I am going to write do and then open the curly braces. Okay, first I am going to write do and then open the curly braces. Inside that I will give the code part that I have to iterate again and again and again until the condition given here is true. Okay, so you can see what is the basic syntax. Syntax is simple, just remember it. Variable initialization, okay, as like this, same like that, means same like this. Then we are going to give do, open the curly braces, and write the code inside it, which we want to which we want to iterate again and again and again. And of course here it will be the updation without any doubt, right? Here will be the updation also. And after closing the curly braces we will write while and then condition. Okay, simple, simple. Now what's the major difference? So for that we have to run this. So let's k0 do, open the code, console log. Okay, and what we are going to do, just simply print your k. Okay, then k plus plus, and here I am going to write the condition k is less than. Now this time I'm going to give wrong one. Wait, k is less than 0. Okay, c, sorry, greater than 0. Okay, so see if you can see, or let me do this minus 1. uh yeah, less than minus 1. Okay, okay, don't be confused, I am explaining. What I have done is, this is a variable, right? Okay, inside it I have given 0. Okay, then open do, given the code I want to iterate again and again with the updation part also, and then given a condition of what, when k is less than minus 1. Okay, so if you will see, k is equals to 0, but I have given k should be less than minus 1. So can you see, k is equals to 0 and k is less than minus 1. Is it true? No, k is greater than minus 1. Why? Because 0 is greater than minus 1. But I have given condition is k is greater less than minus 1. So will this code will ever run? Think properly. Okay, wait a minute. Don't come into this. Okay, come here. In the while loop. Before that, come here in the while loop. And let's see if my j is greater than less than 0, given j is less than 0 and j is actually 10. Okay, the in the first initialization of the while loop I have given j is equals to 10, and in the condition I have written j is less than 0. And remember, if this condition is not true, then the code will not run inside the curly braces. Okay, ever. So is it going to run? Let's see. Now see, the code haven't run. Okay, how we can see? See, for loops printed. Okay, while loop nothing printed. Why nothing printed? Because the condition itself says that the condition is given is false and the loop terminates. So I am just going to reverse it. So same thing should happen into do while loop. If my condition is false from the start, then the code should not run. Okay, then let's check out. Okay, does my code will run or not? Okay, see, something happened. Just give me a minute and I am going to explain it. Okay, give me a minute. Yeah, something happened. What happened? For loop condition was okay. It's running. While loop we have seen that last that I have made okay. So it's running. But in do while loop the condition was wrong. But still it is running. But how many times? Only one time. Okay. So every time before the code run, I mean before in the do while loop, the code checks the condition is true or false. In the first time, the code will run. Whatever may the case is, this this condition may be true, may be false. Okay, but this inside code will run at least once. Okay, if the code is false, and if the code is true, then whatever the times of iteration you want, the code will run. Okay, that depends itself upon your termination of the condition. That is when the condition will get false. Okay, that's your own logic. But this happens only in do while loop. Okay, so because first here comes is your code, and then the condition part comes. Okay, so at least once, if the condition is wrong still or false, still the code will run inside the curly brace in do while. But in while loop this will not happen. First condition comes. Okay, so first it is going to check condition in while loop. If the condition is true, then only the thing is going to running inside the curly braces, the code inside the curly braces. And same with for loop also acts same as while loop. Okay, so first code will first the for loop will check the condition, and then the inside code will run. So in for and while loop, the first condition will be checked and code will run inside the curly braces if the condition is true. But in do while loop, if the condition is false, then also only at once only once it is going to run in the code inside the curly braces. So this is the difference between loops. This is the basic code of while loop, for loop, and do while loop. And I said you the difference. If things are going nasty or overwhelming, just repeat the video and you will get to know. So thank you for today. We will next we will meet in next video. Thank you. Bye bye.